This, a husband and a wife are headed home after going out for a baseball game. It's something that happens every day for thousands of people here in the Valley during the baseball season. But what happened next changed the lives of two people and their families forever. Anthony Maiorana lost control of the family's car, and it ends up hitting a curb, going up onto the sidewalk, sliding across the grass, and right into a lake in Goodyear. This all happened near Estrella Parkway and Willis Road, and in the car with him is his wife, Megan. Well, the car's front passenger side reportedly then hits a culvert, sails through the air for almost 100 feet before the car hits the water. Then we fast forward to him getting out of the vehicle and Megan trapped inside. So officers from Goodyear PD responded after being notified of a car that was sinking. They could see Anthony outside the vehicle saying that his wife was trapped inside. This is according to the county attorney. And witnesses told officers they heard a vehicle driving at a high rate of speed, followed by screaming. And so, according to the news release from law enforcement, despite multiple rescue attempts by officers and bystanders, they were unsuccessful in getting the defendant's wife out of the vehicle. He got out. She is trapped inside. And by the way, according to the news release, his blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit. So this all happened in March of 2024, and this morning there's a major update. This husband who was driving the car goes over the curb, over the sidewalk, and down into the lake, and is screaming that his wife is in the vehicle, but apparently doesn't get back in or dive in or try to break a window. What extensive work he tried to do is unclear. All we know is he got out and she's still trapped inside, and he did not get her out of the vehicle. Whether he tried to or not, it was not successful. Well, here's the update today. That husband, Anthony Maiorana, has now taken a plea deal in this case. So we knew this was going to be a case that we would follow through right until the end for you. And the last part of the story will unfold next month in court. With the plea deal, he's going to get a max of 12 years to a minimum of 7 years. And so his life forever changed. His family's life forever changed. She's gone, and her family's life forever changed too. So the indictment from prosecutors, here's what it reads. Anthony Joseph Maiorana, on or about March 22nd of 2024, without premeditation, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, recklessly engaged in conduct which created a grave risk of death and thereby did cause the death of Megan Maiorana. So a sad story all the way around, but we did say we would follow it through for you, and that's the update this morning on a story that really has been pretty shocking. So here we are now, and glad that you're with us for Fox 10 Talks. We have, as we always do, right about this very moment, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes after, Syleste Rodriguez. Hello, Syleste.
Ron Hoon. How are you?
Bring your microphone up here.
Thank you, my friend.
Take a look, by the way, behind you. Flagstaff is looking cloudier by the minute.
Isn't that amazing?
Let me go to the tee shot.
It's crazy.
Well.
We're going to see 67 degrees here locally. High country is going to be a lot cooler than that.
Yes, right.
It's kind of a welcome sight.
And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later this morning. If you don't mind, Syleste, that's your background, but check out my background.
Let me say,
I have the better background. You don't mind me saying that, do you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Should we just hang on this shot all
Let's
day?
hang on your shot for a while. Did you see what I brought in for you this morning?
Look at this.
So
Celeste.
when we have food or guests in studio,
By the way, have I told you how many times I try to do a camera shot like this and it all slides right into my lap?
yeah, it's not happening today. That's for
Go ahead.
sure.
Speak all you want, Celeste. We'll just hang on my camera.
Looking at you, but listening to me. But Graze and Go AZ, it's this like local company. This woman just quit her job yesterday, her 9 to 5.
Who did?
This woman, Graze and Go
Okay.
AZ. Her name's Heidi.
Oh,
She's got a
nice.
company where she brings in this charcuterie board, and you get to choose exactly what you want. So I didn't know what you wanted, but I
Yes.
just got you a little bit of
that's so
everything.
great. Okay, so not only is it Charcuterie Day or whatever the heck it is, it's also Liberation Day in the USA.
Okay.
And the president, we have now learned, is going to be making his announcement in the Rose Garden
Okay.
at 1 in the afternoon Arizona time. It'll be 4 p.m. Washington time, and then everybody's going to be talking about it for days to come because are we going to get into a worldwide tariff war? Some people are worried about it. They're always the worriers. And so here is exactly, this is really interesting on Brett Baer's show yesterday, a special report on Fox News. They did have an expert. This guy is one of the members of the Federal Reserve, Celeste. So he ends up being one of the very few who gets to vote on the direction of interest rates.
Okay.
And he spoke directly about what the future might hold and why people are nervous.
All right, let's take a
There's
listen.
an uncertainty that people are expressing to us, which is tinged with a fear. They don't want to go back to the kind of inflationary environment that we had in 21 and 22, and we're just going to have to see how this plays out.
Okay, sounds simple enough.
I think so, yeah.
And the whole question now is specifically what will we learn about the tariffs? We know they're coming, and the president has to obviously stick with it long term because he's trying to convince especially the car makers, the auto manufacturers,
Yes.
to bring those jobs out of Mexico, out of Canada, and into the U.S. Their economies, both of those countries just happen to sit right next to the number one economy in the world, the wealthiest nation in the world, and they are really dependent on selling cars made there into our country, and they're panicked. There's no doubt about it. But here in the U.S., we keep seeing the stock market drop, Celeste, and then the next thing you know, an hour later, it goes back into positive territory. Let me
It's
just look
interesting.
At it right now.
I don't
Hold
know.
on.
What?
It's up 300 points.
Wow.
It was down 300 points to start the day.
I thought you were doing that look because of your image. Like, go back to your shop there, Ron. I thought you were, whoa, now that is an image right there.
Thank you, Celeste.
So here's the thing. I don't know if we've seen something quite like this
Yeah.
in recent years. Okay, I remember, and many of you in the chat box, give us your thoughts on this, but do you recall when the stock market was like 7,000?
Sure.
Right in the heart of the recession? Was that
Yes.
08 maybe?
Yes. I believe it dropped all the way in the Great Recession to about 6,600.
Yeah, low, right? And so when I look at it at like 4,200, 4,100, I'm thinking, wow, like that's
41,000.
41,000. I'm sorry,
Right.
my
Yeah,
apologies.
Yeah.
But that's still
Oh,
incredible.
sure, it is.
And we had a like an economic expert from ASU, a professor on the air this morning. He was talking specifically about the tariffs in India.
Yeah.
We were talking about this Liberation Day
Smart
idea.
guy. I like
Very,
what he was
very
saying,
smart.
yeah.
But he said, I believe that I think India has a 100% tax or tariff on the United States.
What we send to them.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Oh, it's crazy.
And so when you look at what other countries are charging us,
yes.
you know, I don't think, at least me personally, I didn't consider all how different it is and how the scale is very, you know.
Yeah. Well, we did see Israel came out yesterday and said, we remove all tariffs on any products coming in from the United States. We want free and fair and equal trade.
It's an interesting
So
policy.
the president wants to see a lot more of that. And it's our poll question this morning. And so here we go. Already over 200 votes. And boy, this is as close as you're going to see in our poll questions. So it's Liberation Day with tariffs coming. What's your take? 43% say, what a joke. All it'll do is create higher prices. But 42% say, I support them even if prices go up. Bring those jobs back. And then you've got 15% who are kind of on the fence right now because who really knows? Some people are extremely worried, and others I trust him. He's got a long track record as a businessman. I think it's going to work. But then others are like, I'll just wait and see. As long as prices don't go up too much, and it does bring some jobs,
Yeah.
I'll be in favor of
But
it.
what happens let's say it does bring jobs.
Yes.
How great would that be?
Yeah.
I think it's Tesla and Rivian. I think I was listening to a podcast yesterday morning. I think those are
were
the
you?
two
Yeah.
cars I think that are built exclusively in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Rivian
right.
is as well.
Yeah.
But imagine, remember like a heyday of Detroit? Like
Right.
remember the heyday of like those cities in Michigan that were building? I mean, you love Detroit style pizza. Remember?
Right.
They
Those
build the
were the
pizza out
days.
of the oil bit,
Yeah. And you start to run through the list of how many vehicles are now manufactured just on the other side of the border.
Yeah.
Maybe not like 2 miles away, but within, 100 miles or a couple of hundred
Yeah.
miles into Mexico and into Canada. And that does represent all of those jobs. So we're going to see how it all plays out in the coming days. But I can tell you this. Here's how it's going to play out in the weather world. We are going to get some snow. Look at brand new video in
Wow.
from Utah. That's driving up those canyons up to the ski areas. They keep getting more and more snow. And we think that we are on the verge of getting as much as 10 inches of snow up above Flagstaff at Snow Bowl. So the snow is coming, and it should start flying later today and into the day tomorrow. How about that?
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty amazing to see the change in weather. This is, I look at today like a gift from Mother Nature, because at the end of the 10-day forecast, we have our first 100-degree temp that is forecasted for us here in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
Right.
people who move here for those temps
I
out of
was in-
Michigan. And
Yeah, I was in favor of just doing a 9-day forecast.
Oh, you
'Cause I
were?
don't like the 10th day. I don't want to. I want to just enjoy today's 68.
I know it's going to be so nice with a 30% chance of rain. Folks
Yeah.
in the chat box are loving
Okay.
the fact that we're getting rain.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's awesome.
so it's all coming up. But first, mystery cam time. Where do you think this is? Everybody, come play along. We'll be right back. Well, we are looking at a really cool mystery cam. I keep saying to myself, someday we're going to run out of cool shots. Now, Celeste.
Yes, sir.
I see a tiny little sign in the lower left-hand corner that says Cress. So those were old clothing stores.
Oh,
I think
okay.
a long time ago.
Like a Dillard's, like a department store, or like a Montgomery Ward. Remember Montgomery Ward?
I do, of course.
Oh my goodness, I loved that.
What about
place.
stores like the Bon Marché?
Oh yeah, that's really a little fancy, Ron.
Yeah, I know.
I grew up on Mervyn's and Montgomery
good
Ward.
For you. Okay, so let's take a look. By the way, we got the chat box fixed, everybody. So Lisa says Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Celeste already announced she's going Illinois. I like Brandon thinking that it's one of those mini cities in upstate New York. I think I'm going to go with New York.
Jen's Wall says Indiana.
Okay.
So we got some good guesses there.
Sure.
This morning.
Maria Macias says North
Maria.
Dakota, and Sherry Nevada Pup says North Carolina. So you're going with what, Celeste?
I'm going to go with Illinois.
Okay.
Lisa
going New
Dinsmore said, I'm probably wrong. I don't have my hubby here with me to help.
No, it's usually a team effort. For
I
the two
know.
Of them.
She went Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, that's what she went
Let's
with.
see what we got.
North Carolina, Greensboro.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would be Sherry Nevada Pup.
Yeah, nice work, Sherry.
Oh,
Way to
good.
go. Let's look at that one more time, Ron.
Yeah.
I've been to Greensboro before.
Oh, yes.
North Carolina is a beautiful state.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, and they have an Olive Garden. So
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
sold. You
Did
have
I tell you they're building a new Oregano's in Mesa?
Are they
Out
really?
on Signal Butte Road.
What's your favorite thing on that menu?
It is the Pizookie.
That
the
is
end.
yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I just go for the Pizookie.
Mine is the Pablo Picasso salad.
Yeah, that's a good salad.
It's huge.
So yeah, you eat your complex carbs first, and then you dig into the sugar.
That's right.
That's the way to do it. All right. So Celeste, did
Yes,
you
sir.
happen to see what? To me, this is number one.
Yes.
Best April Fool's Day joke of them all.
Yes.
This is a police department in Irvine, California. You've been over there.
I've been in Irvine.
Okay.
Yep.
So they came up with this idea. This is great. We're going to play the whole thing for you because they came up with an idea. They're like, too many lights and sirens. Sorry if we've been bothering you. We're going to go with a different sound. You guys are going to love this. Ready? Here we go.
We are retiring the classic police siren sound and replacing it with a sound that is sure to catch everyone's attention.
Oh my goodness, brilliant.
Yeah, right.
It's an ice cream
The
truck.
ice cream truck. Now watch the officers. They're choreographed. They open the doors at the same time. Look at this. They're like, you're probably wondering why we pulled you over today. And the answer,
It would make
that's
for
the best.
it would make for a much friendlier police stop. You know what I
Correct.
mean? But
Yeah.
the sound has this like
All I can do is hoping that they're handing out gift certificates to the DQ.
or I was gonna ask for a strawberry shortcake. Hello, you have the ice cream?
Right?
Come on, bring it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
They
great.
actually need to do that one day on, I don't know, around Christmas or something, where they're handing out the gift certificates.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, Celeste, let's go back to the saga of a company called Axon. So this is the Taser Company. They're very well known around the country, very successful, but they're to the point now where their CEO is saying, if this particular bill that's working its way through the legislature, if that doesn't work its way through, we are
Yes.
going to seriously consider just no longer being in Scottsdale. I think they feel like they're not wanted in
Yeah.
Scottsdale,
Mhm.
despite all those jobs. Because what their CEO had said to us when we were out there talking with him was basically, we want to create a campus here where
Mhm.
there's apartment living,
Mhm.
and apparently they want to make it affordable enough that their employees could live right there on site.
Yes.
Which housing costs are a really big issue. But as you know, there's a group up in that area. This always happens. It's no shock. It's called Not in My Backyard. There are plenty of folks in Scottsdale who are saying, we just don't want, whether it's the HQ, with all the parking and
Right.
all of that, all the people it brings in, or the apartments that go along with it. They don't want it. They
Well,
want to get it on a ballot.
yes, they
And
do.
so there's talk down at the legislature, this particular Senate bill, that would not let every time a group of neighbors or whatever wants to try to cancel a project, that they can get it on the ballot. They're like, well, that's why your city council got elected. That's why your zoning and planning commission exists. And so if you don't like that, vote us out of office, rather than putting it on the ballot every single time. But
It seems like they need to communicate better, I think, because if you
Okay.
look at the pros and the cons of having them in the
Yes.
city of Scottsdale,
Yeah.
I think that there are probably more pros. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I don't think they're talking about building like horrible housing. I think it's going to be
Right.
nice housing. You
Sure.
may not, and you have apartments and kind of condos, high-rise condos, and off a high street up at Desert Ridge.
Good point.
You have, and I do see the other side with some of these individuals though, where
Yes.
you have up there in that North Scottsdale area. There's
Sure.
not a lot of lights.
Sure.
Hard to
Right.
find a gas
Yep.
station
Yep.
some days.
Yes.
A grocery
Uh-oh.
store. They
Sounds like somebody's been driving up and down Scottsdale Road up in the North Country.
Somebody.
Well,
It sounds like somebody almost had to push their car
Here-
down to the next
Yeah.
stop.
And so here's the whole bottom line to it all. It's fine if Scottsdale wants to become not so much of a pro-growth city.
Yes.
If that's what the people who live there want, then fine, that's the way it is. But you don't have to move your company to Texas or Florida, which a lot of people like living there. The weather's usually pretty nice, especially in Florida, and there's no income tax in either state. However, hello, Mesa. Mesa has welcomed Amazon and Meta and Apple and the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, that actually would be a good spot.
It's-
Actually, out by Mesa Gateway Airport.
Yeah,
I guess it's Mesa. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to end up moving all your people, and then they have a life decision. I love working here, but do I really have to move all the way to Texas? You can still keep them happy and employed here,
Yes.
and just work with Gilbert or work with Surprise, because
Yeah.
there are so many cities in the valley that would be happy
To
take
take
that
you
phone
in.
call.
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, you make a good argument. Think about we have so many different airports that can handle big planes, like if they want to ship things in and out. You mentioned Amazon out near
Right.
Mesa Gateway.
Yes.
They have big like warehouses out in that part of the valley.
Yeah.
What if Axon built a big place out there near Eastmark?
Correct.
And then they can fly their goods in and out of Mesa Gateway.
Sure.
Something
Yeah.
like that. You do have cities in the valley who want them there.
Yeah, and I believe most of these cities would gladly work with them on the whole concept of housing
Yes.
on campus. So we'll see. Maybe that's the way it's going to work
Maybe
out.
you need to call them. I mean, when Ron calls, I
Yes.
think we can get some changes,
Well, Look, Celeste, I got this.
yes.
Oh, look, I have to press this little
Ron,
button
can I
right
say,
here.
can
I
I?
have this thing,
Oh, yes.
which is super fancy, but it
Uh-huh.
doesn't actually show up on camera. That's weird. And I have a microphone.
Uh-huh.
Well, I have two microphones.
And you
but I
have-
have no phone.
Oh, you don't have your phone here.
I need a...
Here, use mine.
Okay. Who should I call again?
Call
I'm gonna
Gary.
let them
Call
figure it out.
Gary.
So- okay. Call Celeste husband.
How do you deal with this woman, man?
I'll tell you who I actually would want to call. Ready? Is the lady yesterday, 106 years old, who said, I just don't
Aw.
like the treatment I'm getting at these airports.
So
And
sweet.
so let's see. This is so great. She now is going to get a trip of a lifetime
Uh-huh.
thanks to another couple that saw her story and said, hey, you know what? Let us take you to Rome.
Oh,
Italy.
wow. How fun.
And so here is what it all sounded like. We just, we love following up stories with close to happier endings. Ready? Here we go.
If I could get the airlines to realize that I'm not some stupid old lady, and that's what they think I am. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to fly to Italy.
We're looking forward to showing you around Italy. We're going to go to Milan and Rome
Oh, I want to go to Rome.
and Portofino.
Yes.
Portofino is my favorite city. It's
That's
absolutely
Patrick's
gorgeous.
I don't know how I can ever repay you for.
Just being you. That's all we ask for is for you to say yes and enjoy your time in Italy with us.
Oh,
Like Patrick said, God has blessed us and we love blessing others. And It's going to be so much fun to see you getting this, something that you've looked forward to your whole life, and it's about time you get there. So
Yeah.
we're going to make it happen.
It was great seeing the person who had offered me to take me on this trip.
Oh.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that would happen.
Oh, I
That is
love her.
So great. Now
It
we
is-
need to follow along when that happens.
We do,
right?
and maybe catch up with her as well. Ron, can I quickly mention, I think we have a birthday in the chat
good.
box, or somebody has a friend who has a birthday.
Okay.
Contested Cruz Diaz says, Connie's 70-plus birthday today. It's her mother. It's her mother. And, of course, happy birthday to Connie's mother.
Oh, Connie and your
So
mom. We love it.
great.
Hey, this is interesting, Celeste. Have you seen this? Remember Morgan Wallen? I finally saw the clip of when he walked off the set at SNL.
Was it weird?
It was obvious he did not want to be on that stage with
Mhm.
those guys because the music and the credits start rolling and he's out of there within, I would say, 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else is like high-fiving and hugging.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want no part of this show anymore. I want to go back to God's country. And now look at what's happened. Now the merch is starting to roll out. This is from Club Wallen on the
Love it.
gram. And so it's going to end up being a multi-million-dollar money maker for Morgan Wallen or the fan club or whoever's behind all the T-shirt. But take a look. That's the aftermath of the whole thing.
It's going to be a hot seller. He's got a huge following.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen.
Right?
I mean, he's a little controversial in some ways,
I
but
guess
folks really
so.
love him.
Yeah. If you're looking for a great song to add to your monthly playlist, if you do one of those like I do, 7 Summers.
Oh, it's so good.
Morgan Wallen song. Celeste, we have a minute left.
So
I
good.
want to squeeze this story in because
Okay.
no more bad calls from the refs in the NFL on 4th down. Remember the
What?
Buffalo Bills? There was a very controversial call for the
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Bills. So the NFL, some people will like this, some won't, but they already have the technology that shows exactly where the ball stopped
Yes.
with all of these kind of cameras that loop around the
Mhm.
whole stadium
Mhm.
to the inch. And so from starting this year, we don't have to worry about the refs who are wobbly. They're kind of running in. One guy puts his foot on the 42.5-yard line. The other guy puts it on like the 41.
So what's going to happen now?
The robots are going to say right where it was.
Okay.
There'll still be a chain gang, but they're more there for window dressing.
Oh.
The robots are going to decide.
The
So no
robots?
no more bad calls. What do you think?
I don't know about that. Do we trust the robots?
Well, they have.
Is there
this
going to be
crew.
like somebody checking the robots? You know what I
Probably,
mean?
yeah. We don't want them to take over.
Oh, my
as long as they don't
gosh.
take over the quarterback job.
AI's taking over. No,
With that,
thank
we
you.
say-